Hello, Susie. It's Patricia. I was wondering if you have some time to talk. There's something I wanted to ask you.
Yes, of course. I'm actually on my way to my parents' house, so do you mind if we continue messaging? I'm on the train, so I can't make a phone call.
Of course I don't mind. I'm sorry to bother you at such an inconvenient time.
No, it's no problem. It's still a long way until I have to get off, and I didn't have anything else to do. I'm glad you messaged me. Anyway, is there something I can help you with? It's pretty rare for you to message me like this.
Well, the thing is, I actually wanted to ask you something about my son. How has Owen been doing lately? Has there been anything off about his behavior? Or has he mentioned anything about trouble at work?
Owen? I don't think so. He's been perfectly normal. Didn't you get to see him last weekend? I thought that he went to visit you guys. Or that's what he told me.
Yes, he was here. There's no mistake about that. It's just... This might be my imagination, but I felt like he wasn't his usual self. It seemed like he was lost in his thoughts, and we didn't really get to hear much from him.
Oh, really? Well, that's strange. I haven't noticed anything myself. Did he say anything that made you think that something was off?
Not really. It's not what he said, but more his demeanor. I thought that he was completely fine, but I started to feel that something was off after he went back home. I realized that it looked like he was deep in thought about something, like he didn't know what to do. He wasn't talking as much as he usually does, too, or at least that's how I felt. I messaged him after he left because I was worried about him, and I asked him if he was okay, but he only replied that there was nothing wrong. I really can't help but feel like there's something off about his behavior.
Nothing really comes to mind. I wonder what could be bothering him. Oh, no, there is something. He mentioned that he was having a hard time sleeping.
Oh, really? He's been having trouble sleeping? So he just seemed a little off because he was tired?
Yes, that must be it. I haven't noticed anything strange about him at home, and I think everything's going well at work. I can understand that you must be worried, but I think he's fine.
Oh, then it must have all been my imagination. How silly of me. You live with him, so if you say that he's fine, then he must be fine. Thank you, Susie. I feel much better now. I'm sorry I disturbed you for something so silly. I've probably become more worrisome and quick to assume things because of how old I've gotten, but I'm glad I was able to talk to you about it.
It's no problem. If you ever want to ask me something, feel free to message me. It's possible that Owen's bothered about something that he feels he can't share with me, and that's why he hasn't been showing any signs of being troubled by something when he's at home. I'll make sure to keep an eye on him and check if there seems to be anything wrong. I'll let you know if I figure anything out.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I'm so glad that you married Owen, Susie. You're a wonderful daughter-in-law, and I'm sure that Owen feels that he's lucky that he married you.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. I'm lucky to have such a caring mother-in-law. But now you mention that Owen's been acting strange, I can't help but feel a little worried too. I wonder if he's really okay. I was planning on staying over at my parents' house tonight after spending the day with them, but do you think that I should go back home and stay by Owen's side just in case? Will he be okay alone?
Oh, I'm sure he'll be fine. I'm sorry I made you worry. It's just for one night, and you should spend some time with your parents, too. Don't worry about Owen. It's probably just a lack of sleep, and it might be my imagination. Take your time with your parents.
You think so? He may have an assistant to help him, but he is essentially running a company all on his own. I think the job of CEO must be a lot more mentally and physically stressful than I think it is. I wonder if he's really okay.
Yes, that's true. There must be a lot that he's worried about that he can't even share with all of us. It would be difficult for us to understand if we've never experienced it for ourselves. But that's nothing new. He's been running that company for a few years now, and even though you said that everything's going smoothly, I can't imagine that it would suddenly affect him like that. I think that he was just tired, that must be it.
I've been making sure to give him herbal tea like chamomile and lavender in the evenings to help him sleep better, but, well, perhaps that's not enough. I'll look something up and see if there's anything else I can do to help him rest.
Thank you. I'll try looking for some items for sleeping too, like an eye mask or some music. But would you mind letting me know if anything changes and you notice something odd about Owen? He has a bad habit of trying to deal with everything on his own and doesn't really share anything with the people around him.
Of course, leave him to me. I'll let you know as soon as anything comes up. Thank you for messaging me, Patricia. Owen and I will go and visit sometime soon.
I'm looking forward to it. You and Owen haven't been to visit together in a long time, so we would be very happy if you both came and spent a weekend here with us.
Patricia, there's something I have to tell you. I think you should sit down, and I want you to listen to me very carefully.
Susie? You never message me this late at night. What's the matter? Is something wrong?
I'm really sorry.
What? Susie? What's happened? You're scaring me. Are you okay? Did something happen between you and Owen?
Owen's gone. He's dead. He's not coming back.
What? You're joking.
It's true. I'm not lying to you.
Susie, there are some things you should say and shouldn't say. This is the latter. It's not funny, so please, be serious. How could Owen be dead? It's impossible. I only just messaged him this morning. He was fine. There wasn't anything wrong with him.
There was a car accident.
No, this cannot be happening. It can't be true. Owen's the safest driver I know. He's annoyingly meticulous about following traffic rules, and he never goes above the speed limit. There's no way he could be in a car accident. Or was there a DUI that crashed into him from the other side of the road? What happened?
Do you remember when we talked about him not having enough sleep, and we said that we'd come up with some other solutions? Well, the truth is he started taking sleeping pills just a few weeks ago, but he was sleeping better for a while, and...
Are you saying that he had an accident because of the sleeping pills? He fell asleep at the wheel?
It looks like the police are investigating the crash with that in mind. It seems that he crashed alone, so that's their main stance.
But why would he be in an accident this late at night? I don't understand where he could have been driving to. And why would he get into his car after taking sleeping pills? It doesn't make any sense. There's no way he would do something so irresponsible. Please, Susie, tell me that you're lying. You're just joking, aren't you? Please, Susie, please tell me it's not true. He can't be gone.
I wanted to believe that it was a lie too. I couldn't believe that I would never see him again. But I suddenly got a phone call from the hospital telling me that I had to come right away. But by the time I arrived, he was already gone. Apparently he was already dead when he crashed. I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye. I'm sorry, Patricia. I should have called you as soon as I got the phone call from the hospital, and I should have let you both know. But I panicked, and I could only think of going to see Owen. I didn't think of anything else, and I didn't call you. I'm sorry.
It's fine. That must have been hard for you to hear, Susie. I think I would have done the same in your situation. You shouldn't blame yourself for not contacting us.
Sorry.
Please don't apologize. But I guess this means that I have no choice but to accept that Owen really is gone.
Yes, he's gone.
Oh, he really is dead. My Owen.
Patricia, are you okay? Is Owen's dad there with you?
I'm sorry, my brain just can't seem to catch up with everything. You're right, I have to go and tell my husband.
Yes, I don't think you should be alone right now.
Yes, thank you. My husband and I will head over to the hospital as soon as we can. Oh, I've got to tell him. How am I supposed to tell him?
I'm so sorry, Patricia.
It's not your fault, Susie. There is nothing for you to apologize for. Please don't blame yourself. Anyway, we will be right there, so just wait for us. You shouldn't be alone either.
Thank you. I'll send you the address right now.
Yes, please. Thank you. I don't think I can search for it myself in this state. Thank you for being so considerate, but make sure to take care of yourself first, okay? Find somewhere you can sit down and rest until we arrive. Susie, are you okay? How are you feeling? I asked one of the staff at the funeral, and they told me that you had been taken to hospital. Can you reply to this message when you wake up? Let me know how you're doing when you see this message. Please, I'm very worried.
Patricia, I'm really sorry for making you worry. Has the funeral already finished? Has the casket already left?
Yes, it's just finished. A few people have started leaving, but Owen's casket is still here. They'll be transporting him to the cremation center in about 10 minutes, but... More importantly, Susie, are you feeling okay? Are you still lightheaded? What did the doctor say?
I'm feeling a little better, thank you. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I collapsed in the middle of the funeral like that.
Oh, don't apologize, Susie. I can understand that it was just too shocking to bear. I'm just glad you're okay.
But I should have stayed at the funeral home no matter what. I feel pathetic that I couldn't fulfill my job as his wife and send him off properly.
You don't have to worry about that. You did everything you could. You're just a little exhausted is all. The staff are starting to get ready to move Owen. We'll be heading to the cremation center too, but will you be okay? I was thinking about asking them if they can delay the cremation by a few days, if that's what you want. That way you can have some more time to say goodbye.
No, it's okay. I'll head to the cremation center too. I can't drag this out any longer. I've got to pull myself together and say goodbye.
Is it okay for you to be moving around already? You should rest if you aren't feeling up to it.
It'll be fine. It's just a mental issue. And it's probably because I haven't been able to sleep very well these past few days. I can't miss Owen's funeral and his cremation.
Yes, that must be it. You must be exhausted. You mentioned that you haven't been able to eat since Owen passed away, too.
Yeah.
I can understand how difficult it must be, but you've got to try and force yourself to eat something. Start with something easy to digest, like yogurt or some porridge. You don't want to collapse again. And Owen would hate to see you suffering so much because of his death.
Yes, I know. He would be so upset to see me like this. I've really got to snap out of it and come back to reality. I've still got to organize and clean up all of his things. I need to go to his office and collect all of his personal items. And I need to move house. Oh, there's so much I need to do, but I can't bring myself to do any of it. Oh, and my parents told me that they want me to come back home for a little while, too. They're worried about leaving me all on my own in that big house.
Yes, I can imagine. You shouldn't be alone. I think it's a good idea for you to do as your parents say, and go home with them for a while until you're ready to find your own apartment.
But now that Owen's gone, I don't have any money to pay for the bills. I don't know what to do. It'll take time until I can access the money he left behind for me, too. I don't know how I can pay for the rent. Everything is completely new to me, and it's all so confusing.
Don't worry, Susie. My husband and I will pay for the rent until you receive your part of the inheritance. You should just relax and stay with your parents until then.
Are you really sure? I can't make you do that.
His account's been frozen, so there's no other way for you to pay the bills, is there? You were a full-time housewife, so it would have been best if you had made a joint account, but nobody could have anticipated Owen passing away so suddenly. And especially because it was so sudden, you should take some time away and think about your mental health above everything else. You need time.
Patricia, oh, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for everything you've done for me. It's too difficult for me to stay in that house knowing that Owen's not coming back. I keep on waiting and waiting, but it's so empty without him. It's too much, just seeing all of his things around the house in exactly the same places he last touched them. I feel like I can't even breathe there.
If it's that difficult, then how about we tidy up Owen's things for you?
No, I can't ask you to do that. I've already been an inconvenience to you both. I don't want to be any more of a burden.
You are not a burden, Susie. Don't say that. In situations like these, I'm the type that needs to keep on moving around. I like to focus on doing tasks, otherwise I won't stop thinking. I'm not very busy right now, and if I don't have something to take my mind off of things, then I might end up collapsing next.
Patricia, well, if you really insist, then I'd be really happy if you could do that for me. I'll be staying at my parents' house for a while, so I won't get in your way.
Leave it to me, Susie. I'll have everything done in no time. If there's anything you don't want me to touch, then let me know in advance and I'll stay clear of those areas.
Yes, thank you so much. Then I'll head over to the cremation center and say goodbye to Owen.
Will you be okay on your own? Is someone going to drive you? If you're still at the hospital, then my husband and I can go and pick you up.
Oh, no, it's okay. My friend is here with me, so I'll be okay on my own.
All right, as long as you're not coming alone. We'll be waiting for you at the cremation center. I've asked them to wait until you arrive, so take your time, okay? Take care. Hello, Susie. It's been a while. Are you still at your parents' house?
Patricia, it's lovely to hear from you. Yes, I am. I finally managed to eat more and have some more sleep. I'm really grateful to you for taking over cleaning up Owen's things for me. It's helped a lot.
Is that so? Well, that's good to hear. Have you already finished sending all of the documents necessary for the inheritance?
Yes, I've already sent everything to my lawyer. He's dealing with all the procedures on my behalf. I can't make you and Owen's dad pay the rent for me forever, so I've been trying to get things over there done with as quickly as possible. It looks like I'll be able to receive the inheritance in another 2 weeks or so. I don't think it'll take much longer than that, so I'll be able to pay for next month's rent on my own. Thank you so much for paying for this month's rent. I'm really grateful to you both for being so kind to me.
Susie, there are a few things that I'm still finding difficult to believe about Owen's death.
I know, I feel the exact same way. I can't believe God could do something so cruel. Owen didn't deserve to die so soon. He should have lived a happy, full life. He was too kind to be taken away from us so quickly. I can't believe that he's not here with us anymore, that I'll never be able to see him ever again. You feel the same way as I do, don't you, Patricia?
Why don't you stop with the "I'm still in denial" act? I already know everything.
Act? What are you talking about? I'm not acting like I'm in denial. I really am in denial.
I got a letter from my son.
What? You're talking nonsense. A letter from Owen, but Owen's already dead. How could he have sent you a letter?
It's a letter he wrote and sent before he died.
What? What do you mean? Did he crash on purpose? To commit suicide?
It looks like it. But you're wrong about one thing. He was planning to die on a completely different day to the one that he crashed on. Let me give you a hint, Susie. Do you remember what day it was last week Friday?
Last week Friday? Was that the day he planned to die on? I'm sorry, I've been having a hard time keeping track of time and the date ever since Owen passed away. Was there something special about that day?
Really? You don't remember? It was supposed to be your wedding anniversary.
What?
My son was planning on killing himself on the day of your anniversary. That's why he had arranged for this letter to be sent to us a week after the date. This was supposed to be his suicide note, his final goodbye to us.
I didn't know. I can't believe I didn't realize that he was planning anything like that.
By the way, it says in this letter that your abuse was the reason why he decided to kill himself. He's written everything about how you put trash in his food, how you made food using the ingredients that he's allergic to, that you even used a stun gun to wake him up in the middle of the night. What kind of monster are you?
What are you talking about? Of course that's not true. I would never do anything like that.
You treated him like that because you were just after his money, weren't you? And you were having an affair, too. You've been sleeping with another man ever since you first married Owen. He's written all of the details of what you've done to him ever since you first got married.
Patricia, this is too horrible. I didn't know that you could be so cruel. I understand that you're shocked about Owen's death, but there are some things you should and shouldn't say. I wish you wouldn't make horrible accusations like that without any proof. Are you really sure that Owen wrote that letter? How do you know it's not some horrible prank? I think it's a little suspicious to believe it without having checked it out first. It might be a horrible prank set up by someone who has some grudge against me. I don't know who could have something against me, but you never know.
The letter was handwritten. We know Owen's handwriting, but we've also had it confirmed by a professional. He told us that there's no mistake that this was written by my son. Not only that, but it also said that you were giving him sleeping pills on a daily basis. You forced him to take that medication. Apparently, you made him go out and run errands by car after making him take those sleeping pills on purpose. He wrote that he wanted to commit suicide on your anniversary, but he had already given up on protecting himself from you. He was aware of the possibility of leaving this world much sooner than he expected because of the dangerous things you were making him do. He wasn't scared about dying anymore, but he was just worried that he might drag complete strangers into the car accident if he ever had one. You made him take sleeping pills on the day that he passed away, didn't you? In the end, he couldn't even have any control over how he lost his own life.
Don't be silly, Patricia. Owen was a grown adult. Why would he drink the sleeping pills if he knew that I wanted him to get hurt? He shouldn't have gotten in the car if he didn't want to hurt anyone else. You are being too unreasonable, Patricia.
I know. If Owen was in a normal state of mind, he might not have done as you told him. He would not ever have listened to you, and he would have been able to stand up to you. But he wasn't in a normal state of mind, was he? He wrote that he was terrified of arguing back, that you wouldn't take no for an answer and got violent when he tried. He wrote how embarrassed he was for being so weak, and how he felt pathetic that you have gained such an advantage over him. He must have been suffering from depression, and was in no position to protect himself from an abuser like you. That's why he was trying to kill himself. That's why he didn't want to live in this world anymore, not with you.
I'm not listening to this anymore. It hadn't been long since I lost my husband, the love of my life, and I haven't been able to eat, sleep, or even go a day without crying. I'm suffering just as much as you are. And yet you have the nerve to say that I was the one that killed him? It's unbelievable. How could you? I don't want you contacting me ever again.
That is my line, Susie. But before that, you've got to pay for this. I want you to acknowledge that it is your fault that my son is no longer with us. You killed him.
There is no way I'm acknowledging something like that. Do you even have any evidence of what you're accusing me of? You think that one suicide note from Owen will make me confess to the things you say I've done? You're a real idiot if you think so, Patricia. I'm never admitting to anything.
So, you've finally shown your true colors. You're a monster.
I don't care what you think of me or what you call me. It's not long until I receive my inheritance, and then I'll have everything I wanted. You can do whatever you want with that letter. It's not going to go the way you want it to. You can take it to the police, but I doubt that they'll do anything for you. They're not going to lift a finger. A worthless piece of paper like that doesn't mean anything, and it's not going to be evidence of anything.
Oh, it means a lot more than you think. I never said that we only received a letter from my son. There's something else that he sent us. I know for sure that you were playing nasty tricks on him and being violent and shouting verbal abuse at him. I also know for a fact that you were the one who was giving him that sleeping medicine because we have a footage of everything. He sent us a USB filled with recordings of what you were doing to him on a daily basis. He had been filming several angles in the house with hidden cameras to get evidence of what you did.
What?
I bet that you never imagined that he would do something like that, because you thought that you had him in the palm of your hand. But even though he had no intention of living anymore, it looks like his final wish was to bring you down and make you pay for what you did, even if it happened after his death. He did his best in the end in order to make you suffer. To me, this footage and this letter is a message to me, telling me to make you pay for what you've done and give him rest in the afterlife. Otherwise, he must have done all of this to prevent you from inheriting any of his money in the hopes that we, his family, would get more of the share. Don't think for 1 minute that you're going to be able to live the rest of your life in luxury with Owen's money.
Wait a second. Do you seriously have camera footage of the things you're accusing me of?
Yes, of course I do.
Then I want you to show me. I want to see the proof you have. I can't believe what you're saying until you show me the footage you have.
I don't care whether you believe me or not. Why would I risk you trying to damage or steal back the evidence I have? The only people we need to see this footage are the police investigating Owen's death.
Patricia, are you at home right now? You are, aren't you? I'll be right there to check the evidence you have, so will you let me in? I've also got something very important to tell you. The truth is, I was being abused by Owen ever since we got married. He punched and kicked me on a regular basis whenever I said something he didn't like.
Oh, really? You were? And do you have proof to back up the accusation you're making?
Well, I don't have any proof, but it's true.
Then there is no point in me even listening to your lies. You are not getting a single penny of the inheritance Owen left behind for us. And I'm going to make you pay for the sins you have committed. This is my way of sending Owen off and letting him rest in peace.
Patricia, it's not true. You can't believe a couple of clips without knowing the whole truth. Owen and I were in the middle of a horrible argument that was going on for a few months. He must have taken that footage during that argument. We were both in the wrong, and we both did a lot of unforgivable things, but it wasn't me one-sidedly abusing him. He probably edited out all of the inconvenient parts that showed him being just as abusive. That's why I don't want you to take that footage to the police yet. Please, I'm begging you. I haven't done any of the things you're accusing me of. I never tried to kill him.
I'm already talking with the police. It is too late to try to make excuses, and it's too late to try and hide. I've hired a private investigator that's been watching you for the past few days, and they know exactly where you are and what you've been doing. I already know that you've spent the last few weeks living with the man you've been cheating on Owen with. I'm pretty sure that the police will be there in no time. So you'd better sit tight and wait for them. I'm warning you again, but there is no point in running away. My husband and I will make sure that we fulfill our son's final wishes and have you pay for what you've done. After that, Susie was taken away to the station by the police, and she was questioned about Owen's final hours on Earth. It took them a while, but she finally gave in and admitted to giving him sleeping pills and sending him out to drive while he was still under the influence. Once she acknowledged her crime, she was officially arrested and put in jail. It turns out that she had married Owen for his money, and that she had planned to kill my son with the intention of inheriting all his money and his property from the very beginning. My husband and I were very frustrated that we had invited such a calculating woman into our family, even if it was just for a short while. Now that the court case is finally over, she's been sentenced to time behind bars, and the court also judged that she shouldn't receive any of the inheritance that she was originally planning on taking for herself. To be honest, I couldn't help but feel her sentence wasn't enough. And over the course of her case, I had several urges to make her experience exactly what my son felt in his last minutes. But if I made her do the same horrifying thing she did to my son, I would just be stooping down to her level, and barely manage to shake myself of the thought. I know that getting revenge on Susie won't bring my son back, and I know that he wouldn't be happy if I committed a crime for him. I'll just have to bear with it, and accept the punishment that the law has chosen for Susie. At the very least, I'm just glad that all of the truth has come to life, and that Owen can rest a little easier, knowing that things haven't gone the way Susie planned. But I still can't help but think about what might have changed if I had been much more persistent in asking Owen what was wrong when he came over to eat dinner that day. If he had felt like he could talk to us, perhaps he would still be here. We could have protected him from Susie before he crashed. I thought about all of the possible things we could have done, and all of their outcomes, over and over. But no matter how much I think, nothing will change the fact that Owen is gone, and that he won't come back. The past won't change. My husband and I both suffered from those meaningless thoughts of what if for a while. But now we've become determined to live our lives to the fullest for our son's sake. We decided to spend our time and the massive fortune that Owen left in his inheritance to save people who are really in need. We've been researching organizations and charities and have donated large sums of money to the missions we believe are worth investing in. We hope that the money he left behind will go forward and prevent any more deaths like this, and help those currently suffering at the hands of their abusive partners. Our scars won't heal that quickly, and it's possible that we'll never be able to forget the pain of losing our son before his time. But even so, I want to stand with my husband and look towards the future and overcome Owen's death together.